All right, well, welcome back to BS Nintendopes. I'm Blair.
I'm Steven.
We're starting up a whole new series here. This is Zelda Wind Waker,
Mm-hmm.
and
The HD remake on the Wii U.
all right. So we are gonna jump right in. We skipped the beginning storyline stuff. We'll probably talk about it and bring it up
Yeah.
as we go.
Well, I'll kind of have to explain it because Blair's never played a Legend of Zelda game before.
Well, I played the first one.
Which is not a good one to start on. He should have started with Ocarina of Time, which maybe one day I'll get him to play, and then we'll just watch that.
So a lot of failure.
Yeah. Especially when you get to that water temple. But...
I've watched a lot of Hyrule Warriors, but that has nothing to do with the storyline whatsoever.
No, not even close to the same style of gameplay either.
Yeah, so... But... Alright. So, Grandma's been waiting for you.
So basically, the plot leading up to this one is Ocarina of Time has happened. Ganon stole the Triforce thing. Link rose up to defeat him. All that fun stuff. Oop, that was not what I wanted to do. Oh, I can't do it like that. Yeah, so Ganondorf rose up, Link defeated him, and the whole Ocarina of Time thing happened. And then after that, the Great Evil showed up again, but there was no one there to defeat it. So when the world is being plunged into chaos, the peasants in the Hyrule Kingdom, or the Mysterious Kingdom that they call it in the opening credits, they prayed to the gods to save them, and what happened is they flooded the world, and that's why everything looks like that.
Alright.
That's just a basic rundown of what it is.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, from what I know, I do know a little, like, I watched the Zelda show, and I know that's just as bad as...
No. Yeah, no.
But, I do know... And this actually comes up heavily in the Hyrule Warriors. The one thing that is within canon is it's not always the same Link. And one of the concepts is that Link is kind of an immortal soul that keeps getting
I forgot the faces Link makes in this game. Like that. Beautiful. Like, there's some great facial expressions in this one.
Very interesting. But the concept of Link is like he's an immortal soul that keeps getting reincarnated into new when the kingdom needs him, and that's when he get right.
Yeah,
that is one of the concepts within the canon of the game.
I think it's officially canon.
We got to get the book.
Yeah, I want the Hyrule Historia for sure. But
my cousin has it. Actually, I should just contact him.
Always does seem like whenever there is crisis, there's always a Ganondorf, there's always a Zelda, and there's always a Link, because all three of them have one piece of the Triforce with them. Link has courage, Zelda has knowledge, and Ganondorf has strength.
Right.
Which is why if you ever see references to Link being courageous or anything when they talk about strength or power with Ganondorf, they're kind of making an homage to the Triforce.
And even there, they're talking about that shield has the Triforce on it, so there's a good chance that within this kid's lineage is the old Link or whatever, what have you. And that'll probably explain a lot of little things that kind of come up throughout. But yeah, so that was one thing that I had learned from from a couple different places. The whole Link is a reincarnation throughout the. I mean, there is also Ocarina of Time where he does kind of time travel forward and backward and all that.
Yeah. Although, I wouldn't exactly call that one time travel. Because within the canon of the game, he doesn't go from the past to the present. When he picks up the Master Sword, he's sort of frozen in time. and lives separately from the world, so he ages that 7 years. That's why he looks. That's why there's child Link and adult Link, is because he's not time traveling. So per se, or maybe I don't know, because then he goes back through time.
Yeah, they kind of try and talk about it as time travel, but it doesn't all.
It's time travel ish.
So, well, they did say that they one of the reasons that they named him Link was there was supposed to be a time travel element in the kind of when they started the first one. They wanted a time travel element, and he was supposed to go to the past, and he was supposed to go to the future and work in the present. He's never gone to the future in anything or any kind of futuristic, and then
that.
they ended up going with a more fantasy ideal compared to the futuristic or anything like that. So now this falls along the adult timeline that comes after. There's 3 timelines after Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
There's an adult and a child that are created by defeating Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time.
Wait. Sorry, repeat that to me one more time. I just wanted to make sure that you're...
There's a child and an adult timeline that both stem from defeating Ganondorf.
Yeah.
I guess 2 different ways you could defeat him, created 2 different timelines. And then there's the 3rd timeline where you get defeated by Ganondorf in Ocarina, and that's actually where the first game comes in.
Yeah, it's down that path. It's not whether you defeat him as an adult or a child. It's kind of like, because that one has a child Link and adult Link. You have to battle Ganondorf as adult Link. But the idea behind the child timeline and the adult timeline is that either Link continues living as an adult and continues down that timeline where this game happens next, or what happens is he goes back in time to relive his childhood, and that's where Majora's Mask happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then the second, and then the actual original game that started this entire epic thing that is The Legend of Zelda falls if you fall to Ganondorf in that one.
Yeah.
Which need the book to figure out how that works. Apparently, it's the only place that the official timeline.
Yeah.
It was the first release of the official timeline. Before that, it was just everyone guessing.
And fans actually... oh God, that was really so long ago. I think there was a whole lot of, fandom outrage by it, because people just...
Of course there was.
Well, yeah. Because, I think one of the issues was that people had issue with Link losing. He's the hero, how is he supposed to lose, kind of thing. But
you mean gamers had an abstract objection to something that the game designer came up with? I've never heard of such a concept. This is totally new.
Yeah, tone it down a little bit. I'm trying to talk and do the tutorial at the same time, and I'm trying to remember exactly what I have to do. I had this game on the Wii U for the HD remake, and I played a little bit of it. I made it to the first temple, but before that, I played it back on the GameCube, and that was many years ago. And not only that, I never finished it because of that awful Triforce gathering thing. I hated it.
Everyone did, actually.
I hated it.
The developer actually released an official apology for that fetch quest.
It's awful.
And then they didn't fix it.
We get to live through it.
Yeah, because
I wanted them to just give me a shortcut or something. They might have shortened it up a little bit. They might have altered it or something.
Apparently, and now we'll find out in the end. Apparently, they didn't, and that was part of the apology. Was everyone kind of hoped that they would fix it for this HD remake. And then they didn't. And so, no, it's something you're going to have to go through.
Man, well, maybe it'll be easier this time. It's just, it was so boring.
You guys might get a little quick run on when we get around to that. That's right at the end though, right?
Yeah, it's right at the end. When we get to it, man, actually just cut the whole thing out. I don't know, but
well, the whole there was supposed to actually be 2 dungeons. There was actually supposed to be 2 dungeons, 2 more dungeons within this game, but they were running behind and they weren't done yet, and they wanted to get the game out on time, so they cut the 2 dungeons and then made the fetch quest, and that was another aspect because everyone thought that they were gonna
forgot about these.
Everyone thought they were gonna change. Put those 2 dungeons into the HD remake and get rid of the fetch quest, but they couldn't because they actually just took those 2 dungeons and put them in the next game after this.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have that one? Do we not? The other what's the other?
Twilight Princess.
Right.
We had it, but we sold it when we moved out here.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what was I supposed to do? Oh, jump attack. That's just me not paying attention.
I thought you had it for the Wii U.
No, it never came out on the Wii U. There is an HD remake coming for the Wii U, though, so I might just pick that one up. And then, spoiler, we might play it on the channel. I haven't decided yet, but probably will happen. That one I've beaten twice, because I really liked the whole storyline in that one. That one was really good.
Yeah, I almost wish we had the package for the GameCube that's where I played the original game, and it had 1, 2, and Majora's Mask on it.
I had 1, 2, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. It was the Master Collection they released with the GameCube. Well, not with it, but like early in the GameCube's life back in the day.
Yeah, I almost kind of wish we had that still, but
yeah.
Say que sera, sera. As per normal, when you start a new game, you got to go through all the motions of learning.
Yeah, I actually completely forgot about the parry attacks, though, so it's a good thing I went through that. Otherwise, I would have been very confused when that trigger popped up, and I'd be like, I don't know. Then we get our shield, and then we're ready to go, and... Are we rescuing? Yes, Tetra. We're rescuing Tetra.
Tetra.
Yeah. I think... Oh god, it's been so long. I think she's this game's version of Zelda. Or like...
So, despite it being a Legend of Zelda game, there's no Zelda.
What? There's always a Zelda. Wait, why won't you give me the shield? Why won't you give me the shield? I need the shield. Alright.
So you skip through the text too fast and you're missing something.
Well, no, I mean, I don't need the shield. I just thought I got the shield here too. I got the sword, that's all I really needed.
Yeah, you're probably supposed to do it just with the sword for now.
Yeah.
And then you get injured and then she's like, oh my god. Here, take the shield.
No, I think I have to... I don't remember. It's been a while.
So, this was another thing. You see the wind wisps in the background, and that was one of the things. Is apparently even from the beginning they wanted to do something with wind, and even in a couple of the previous games to this, they played around with wind temples, but due to limitations, they were never able to do it.
Limitations in hardware.
Hardware and software limitations. They were never able to do it until the GameCube era.
Yeah. Before
they were actually able to illustrate it, and make it work. So, but there's a whole bunch of ideas behind that because there's things that everyone...
I think this is where I need to go. Well, we'll just go this way and hope.
Well, you seem to be able to get through, so...
Yeah, like that's the thing, is I only need the sword to
With,
get through.
with Zelda games, from what I understand, it's basically if you can get there, that's where you're supposed to go.
Yeah,
Because
more or
basically,
less.
if you can't get there...
It means you don't have the item you need, and so you need to find the item and then keep going. That's how they kind of like gate your progression, is like you need a certain item to get somewhere or something.
the closest thing to open world while still on the rails that you can get.
Oh, I have it set to... I have it set... Oh, wow, that's a good camera angle. I need to change that.
You missed your ruby.
That's fine. Rupee.
Rupee.
With a P. So I don't know about how you guys play it, and you might disagree, but I've always been a fan of the switch camera target instead of the hold. I hate the hold.
Yeah, you have no clue what you're talking about.
Well, there's a Z target system, or no, I guess it's always been called the Z target system, but it's this is where a shield would come in handy. So you see how I have that arrow and it's targeting him?
Mm-hmm.
That's the switch. If I hit the button again, it switches to a different target.
Mm.
Whereas with the hold system, you have to hold down the trigger the whole time, otherwise you lose a target.
Oh.
So I prefer the one where you press it once, you lock on, you stay locked on, you press it to switch your targets, then have to hold it the whole time. Because that's just one more finger I have to think about. Like, it's just you hold it down, you don't have to move it. But I'd rather have that finger free to do other things if I need to all of a sudden or something.
Fair enough.
And this is where Tetra comes in. The lovely pirate princess. Wait, princess? I think she's a pirate princess. Like I said, it's been a lot of years since I played this one.
So there is a character named Zelda, or is that supposed to represent Zelda?
I don't... I think she is Zelda, but
Just
she
doesn't
goes
go
by
by
the name Tetra. It's not the first time Zelda's done something like this.
No, there's that whole one where she goes goes out in drag.
Yeah, Sheik. She becomes Sheik.
Which becomes really weird when you start playing as Zelda and Sheik at the same time in Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to make her the same person, or make them the same person, or have them like be like alternate costume style things. But no, they just let you play as Zelda and Sheik in the same thing. But then again, Toon Link was recently, or is going to be added to it in the Hyrule Warriors Legends thing. So then you're going to be able to play as Link and Toon Link. Oh, and there's also Kid Link too. So there's up to 3 Links that can be on the field at the same time.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And now your sister's kidnapped. So, begin the game.
Yeah. Poor little thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And that's the other thing, is the constant of Link being a silent character, which is what made the TV show so bad.
Why would they give him, like, a whiny douchebag character? Like, of all things. Like, it's just, he's... Like, as a main character, as like a main speaking character, he would be incredibly boring as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because he would just be really boring. Like, he is silent so that you can put yourself in Link's shoes, so that when you play these games, it feels like you're supposed to feel like you are Link. And that's the one thing I've always liked about silent protagonists, is like, it's easier to put yourself as that main character. I've always liked that about silent main characters. I think Dragon Quests have always had silent main characters. I like the most about them.
Well, I think that's the entire point of, and I'm pretty sure that's why they make it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to read these.
Sorry.
But no, a silent character is always best, but then it always does make it kind of funny when they have to call it out, like, oh, what, you're not talking to me? And it's like, well, no, the character's just silent, but then it's like, they have to make a joke about it if they're going to do it, right? So,
yeah.
Forsaken Forest. Fortress. Oh, you just always was such doom and gloom with names and everything.
Well, it's a pretty doom and gloomy kind of place.
No, that's just classic video game.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wanna build a video game? Name something Forsaken.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, and then it is funny that when you walk up to a character, it tells you to speak to them, and it's like, actually no, listen to them. It's more appropriate way to put that.
Yeah, he just speaks through grunts and head nodding and stuff like that.
Like here, she's calling out the fact that he won't say a word.
That's also just kind of a thing. Like, you wouldn't tell your grandmother that her granddaughter got kidnapped. You would try and hide it, fix the situation, and then, because like Link is a little kid in this one, like he's so young.
Which is weird that it's the progression along the adult Link timeline.
Yeah, I don't understand why this. See, this one.
So that brings about the whole idea of the reincarnation again.
Yeah, like that was one of the things. Like, I get the timeline thing, and I'll take Nintendo's word at it. Like, that's their timeline. It's their games. Like that, everything. But I've always felt that this one belongs better on the Link failed timeline, because the hero never shows back up when Ganondorf comes back. Like, he's totally absent, and the world is pretty much destroyed. Like, it's done for and all that. But we might just continue that conversation in the next episode, because we're going to end it here and then set off for Forsaken Fortress in the next one. Alright,
well, this has been BS Nintendos, and we have been playing Zelda Wind Waker. If you want to see more, if you want to see the rest of this series, hit the big red subscribe button underneath. If you enjoyed this, our little conversation and playthrough of the tutorial, hit that thumbs up button down there, and feel free to leave some comments about your ideas about where this game should fall in the timeline and the whole reincarnation, and start a conversation, and we will get in there and talk it out with you. So yeah, I'm Blair.
I'm Steven.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.